Jack, I've just finished reading, right, first volume of My Hero Academia, and you'll never guess what happened at the end of the first chapter. Holy shit, he's fucking, it's in the past tense, he's narrating it. Like, look, check this out. Jesus, why are you throwing stuff like that at me for? Right, where is this? Fantasy became reality. I forgot to mention this. This is a story of how I became a great hero. A second. How I became a great hero. Hey, what's going on, guys? Jack here. And today, there is like a month left. I think it's like a month today, actually, till My Academia anime finally drops, and I am so excited. Are you excited? So, we're just going to get on with the discussion, and this discussion today is a possibility of a time skip. Like, is there going to be a time skip? When is it going to happen? Is there any proof that we kind of think it's going to happen? Okay, so I had a bit of a theory. It was linked to something that was said at the end of the first chapter. It was, I forgot to mention this, but this is the story of how I became a great hero. So what does that mean? That means that our main character, little Midori, he is going to be the one that is narrating My Academia. At least I hope so. I hope they follow that with the anime, because it's obviously been told in past tense, and I think there's other references in other chapters where he's done it. And it was like, the thing is, this is the story of how I became a great hero. That is what kind of gets me the most interested out of the whole thing that he said in the first chapter. Great hero. Like, that doesn't mean that he's going to be number one. That just means that he's going to become a great hero. And we could have a time skip in between, like, the end of school and him being this great hero. I feel like that could happen. So I'm going to try and explain it a bit more. So it could be like road to number one. After he's like, we get this, he finishes school, we get a couple more arcs, and then we have a bit of a time skip, and he becomes this great hero, this figure. Once a whole symbol of justice gets annihilated, we get our great hero, we get Midori, and this could be a story that he is telling. That rhymed. This could be a story that he is telling to another hero, an aspiring hero. It could be anyone. It's obviously somebody who doesn't know who he is. This is who he's telling it to. It's got to be some sort of new hero. It could be a student. He could be a teacher at the school. This is like foreshadowing to the end of My Hero Academia, which is years down the line, and I'm just so excited to see what could happen. So we're going to get back to my original sort of theory slash. Do I think when do I think the time skip will happen? I definitely think it will be after school, but not straight away after school. We'll get a couple more arcs. And maybe I've seen some theories that people think it's when the symbol of justice has been wiped out, we'll have like some sort of training time skip thing where we'll have a skip for a bit, and as we've skipped, the Villain Alliance has took over and it has run rampant throughout society, and has pretty much took over as the pinnacle of society. The thing that rules over society are supervillains, and then the time skip could pick up from there, and we could have some more sort of, we could have like them going around to each individual base and wiping out different sort of groups of villains, and it could be something like that. Or we could have, after this whole thing with Bakugo, we could have a time skip on Bakugo comes back to school, everything returns back to normal. There could technically be a small time skip at the end of the current arc, and we get sort of the aftermath of what's going to happen to Aizawa, and is he going to get in trouble for what's happened with the students because they've used their quirk. Quite a lot of questions going on here. And what do you think? This was the main sort of, is to get people thinking about My Hero Academia. Do you think there's going to be a time skip? When do you think the time skip is going to be, and how do you think it's going to be about? I feel like what was said at the start of this chapter, at the start of the first chapter, was very, very, very important to the story and how it's going to go. And I don't think that Midori telling it, I don't think that's the end of the story. I think we'll skip to that and then we'll continue on from there, where he's a great hero because he's not number one yet, and his goal is to be like All Might, to be number one, to be the symbol of justice. He wants to be a superhero, and I don't think he'll ever be number one. I think he'll get close, but I don't think he'll ever be number one. He'll be like All Might, but not like All Might, if that even makes sense. He'll retain that symbol of justice, but he won't be the number one hero. I reckon that will be either Tokoyami or Todoroki. I reckon that since there's a whole thing between All Might and Endeavor, there'll be a whole thing between later on down the road between Todoroki and Midori, as in they are the successor to Endeavor and All Might. So, like I said, let me know what you think. Let me know. And oh my god, it's a month till My Hero Academia. Are you as excited as I am? Because holy shit, it's a month till my favourite anime is going to drop, and I know that I'm going to love it, and I just can't wait. So, I want to know your thoughts and opinions. Let me know. See you in the next one, guys.